Greetings, most honorable listeners and masters of the martial arts. I am Travis.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Big Los.
And this is CTE, and this is going to be an experience for you. And if you didn't know, we are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour. And this past weekend was Virtual Fight Tour Last Man Standing at the Quebec Open in Quebec, Canada. It was a great last man standing fight between Kevin Walker and Bailey Murphy. They went head to head, and Bailey Murphy was the last man standing. So congratulations to him. And look out for everything that is going on at the Virtual Fight Tour. Matter of fact, go to virtualfighttour.com and watch the documentary that is out right now about how Virtual Fight Tour even evolved, began, started, and grew, as well as support everything that they're doing. And go to the YouTube. If you want to see the last man standing from Quebec Open, go to YouTube, Virtual Fight Tour, a YouTube page, and you can see it. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right.
I'm good.
Great. Great. It's good to hear, guys, that you guys are doing all right. Sorry for the technical difficulties, people. We've been a little bit I've been behind the scenes doing a little bit of work. Hopefully this thing lasts. We'll see.
You're gonna shut off, gonna cut us off.
I hope not, man.
End the show again.
Yeah, you got a light on you or something?
I do. I have 3 lights on me.
You have 3 lights on you.
Yeah, I got a key light. I got a few. I got a whole setup that I was doing. Actually, if I turn these 2 other lights off, you'll see color behind me. You'll see blue and green. But I didn't have time to perfect it because things were going on. So
you just got us in the dark.
Hey, man. Hey, I got to get things set for me first, and then I can tell you guys how to set up your setup. Because Los, I think yours will be really dope if you get yours set up. I think yours will be really dope in the library and everything. I think it'll be really dope if you get yours set up. Chris,
in the library?
Wherever you be sitting at.
When I be at home?
Yeah,
when you're at the house. When you're at the house.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be kind of dope, I think. Yeah, the study, excuse me.
The study.
I think it'd be pretty dope once I figure this out, how to set everything up. But Chris, I don't know what to do with you. You just got you in the school, white background. I don't know. Actually, if you did it and you position yourself to be where the cage is behind you, I think that'd be a dope. I think that'd be a dope view.
Oh, I could do that with the flags, the jiu-jitsu flags and stuff in the background.
Yeah, I think that'd be a dope look.
Hey,
I'll move and set that up next week.
Just take your time when you get the lights and stuff, Trav, for us, because I'll wait so that time. By the time I have my shirt, and then I'll be able to rep and be shining. Like I'll be able to do one of those. Like you mean like I like that hoodie, Chris.
Thanks, buddy. I really listen. I really like this hoodie.
What's up, Kyle?
Wow.
If people did not know, actually people don't know. I was going to announce this, but we are in partnership with KC Sports Talk and Kyle Chambers. He is going to be doing some work with us over the summer. So welcome to the main gang, Kyle.
What's up?
Welcome to the club and the team.
Trav slacking on his his clapping.
I told you this setup is new.
I'm just figuring it out.
I'm figuring everything out. Everything's different right now.
I see how it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little different. Yes. Welcome, Kyle.
What's up, Jeffopedia?
Exactly. Actually, Jeff, before my last camera was working, I had you see the Jeffopedia shirt behind me, but
we don't really see it anymore like how we saw it before.
I know it's a different lens, man. It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different setup.
I thought it was actually pretty dope too. I like that's.
I liked it. We
it was like
it
was. It was literally like you had like it was like perfect. Like it'd be like it was like.
And then the camera just shut off.
His shine and it's like yeah. Now you just get the corner. You can see the little outline right there.
A little bit of blue on that side.
Yeah, a little bit. Anyway,
Jeff, I was trying to hook you up with your shirt too, Jeff. You should have seen the hanger you had on before. When you saw the shirt. Me and Chris.
It wasn't that bad. It was a regular. It was a regular turquoise hanger. Like it wasn't that bad.
Not do your shirt justice, Jeff. We're trying to hook you up.
It was just bad. It was bad.
It wasn't bad. Y'all just hating. Hating. I know why you're hating, though. I know why you're hating because your team is getting smacked right now.
No, they're not.
They're losing right now, buddy. And yeah. Now, dig the knife here. All right. Anyway, this week, Quebec Open. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, man, because I have no idea how long this is going to last.
5 points.
Yeah, so you had to check it. Look at you, got scared.
I got scared a little bit. It's Boston. I don't think we're gonna beat them anyway.
You're not.
I just said that.
I say I'm agreeing with you.
Oh,
I'm agreeing that you're gonna be sitting at home just like the Pistons.
The Pistons been sitting home a little longer than we have.
This is true. It doesn't make sense why we sit sitting at home.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. We had the worst record in the league. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into the Quebec Open, people. This past weekend was the Quebec Open. Chris,
yes, sir.
You want us to give us a you want to give us a rundown on what was going on in the Quebec Open?
Quebec Open, there was a lot of fighting. They had a WACO division, a WACO open weight division. They had a regular open weight division for both men and women, or male and female. How am I supposed to say that?
Men and women is fine.
Okay. Y'all just keep looking at me. Trav, you always be looking at me when I say stuff. So
you can't say male and female.
Because you're talking.
I don't know, man.
Well, the women say that they don't like the term female because it's, I don't know, it's something weird. But
I just want to make sure I say the right thing,
because nobody ever says males and refer to men as males, so it's a whole thing. So just say men and women.
Perfect. Men and women divisions. It was very good. The one thing that I do not have the breakdown on is I do not have each individual division for the.
Who had that debate?
Fighting.
What?
I never heard that before. For real?
Yo, no, seriously, it's a thing.
I'm at the Google. All right.
Where's that?
Right. Chris, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead, Chris. I was just.
Nah, we good. I'm watching what my man got up here.
Hey, I found some highlights to make sure I throw them up here, so when we were talking about the Quebec Open, people could see things happening. You know, it's a whole thing I'm working on back here, man. It's a whole thing I'm working on. So, you know.
Right.
All right. Okay. So seriously, Shay says it. All right. Phi is chemical sign for iron, and male for man. Iron man. Okay.
I
thought it was real. I thought it was real. Like, wait. Okay. Yeah. Never mind.
I'm dying right now.
Listen, I believe her. I'm like, okay. I'm not gonna argue. I just needed some kind of clarification.
I wasn't gonna argue though.
All right. If we gonna really get into this, hold on.
Hold on, man. I'm watching the highlights, man. That was a nice step in.
Hold on. It's a lot. You know. Hold on. All right. So if we gonna really get into this, all right. This is what was discussion. Oh, seriously, because it's gonna keep coming back around. It's just the education podcast at this point. All right. Okay. This is what CTE is. We go off the rails. All right. Look. A lot of times when men refer to women, they will refer to them as females because they can't say the B word. So they started saying female, right?
Because they can't say the B word?
Yeah, because they weren't as a substitute for the B word, right? So all right, think about
I never substitute the B word for female.
But think about this. In Boys in the Hood, Ice Cube was like, they some unstable females because he didn't want to say the B word.
No, that's because it was on USA channel. You can't say
no. In
the actual movie, you can't be on TV. You can't be saying it on TBS.
No, in the actual movie, in the actual movie, he says this when there is a lot of cussing and killing and stuff. He actually says that. He says female, but in that, it started to become more. It started to take on this connotation, and they were starting to get offended because nobody ever said all the males. When males do this, males do that. They started doing this, and then it turned into. It's a biological term. It turned into what is a man and a female and a woman. Like it's turned into a whole bunch of different things, and so people were just saying, "Don't say female unless you are referring to it as a biological term." Something biological. That's what it was started going on. This is the Twitter explanation of what's going on in this. Why?
Oh, it was on Twitter. It had to be right. Okay.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Like, if you don't want to
be over here tweedly deedly deeting. I don't know nothing.
I'm just letting y'all know.
On Twitter?
Honestly, I appreciate the breakdown. That makes sense. I mean, because Ice Cube said females on the USA channel, because they bleep out all the words.
Don't listen to me. I'm just
Yeah.
a man who doesn't know anything. So yeah, I'm just
No,
like
you actually know a lot. You know a lot more
help
than
me,
us. You
y'all.
know there's
Because
UFOs.
because
You
here's
know
the reason why.
everything. Like,
You guys are married men, and y'all stay in your married man realm. I'm out in the world.
gotcha.
And I interact with a lot of different people. I'm trying to tell y'all. This is the just trying to help y'all out.
I appreciate it, Trav.
Listen, I'm glad.
Just in case I ever decide to go back the other way. Not happening. Not like
no, if you encounter somebody who is offended by the term female, I'm just letting you know. Probably shouldn't.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
All right, so men and women's divisions.
There we go.
Let's go.
Back to the Quebec Open. All right, here we go.
I do not have the breakdowns of each individual women's divisions. I have the major results of all those, but I did not get the breakdowns.
You asked me, I will tell you who did it. But go ahead with your breakdown.
All right, so I'm going to start with some of the Friday things for man. Well, we'll go with the winners and then we'll talk about them. So the women's team fighting was Savannah. How do you say her name? Walchenek? Walchenek?
Don't give me that line.
I'm not.
I don't know.
And then Elise Gorel. They won women's teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Waco open weight was won by Savannah. And the NASCA open weight was won by Elise. In that process, in the finals, Elise beat Katana. In the semifinals, Katana beat Katarina. Do you remember who Elise fought for semifinals? I don't remember who Elise fought in the semifinals.
Who Elise fought in the semifinals
before she fought Katana?
For the fight, I think it was Sarah.
Okay.
I think. Wait, you said open weight, right?
Yeah, the NASCA open weight, not the Waco.
Oh, in NASCA, yeah. it was Diana Hernandez from Team Mexico Elite.
Okay. And then in the Waco open weight, that was that. And then Friday for the men's open weight. Who won open weight there, Mr. Trav?
Bailey beat Ryan.
Yes. Teams.
And men teams?
Yes.
That was G-Force. Bailey, Jason, and Kevin beat Diamond G3 of the Sam, Malik, and
they beat whatchamacallits too. They beat TDE as well. I think by like one. It was a close fight. I watched that one.
Okay.
That was Stan, right? The third member of Straight Up G-Force.
No, I think it was Jason Renee.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell because he was small and he had a face mask on. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I forgot. I forgot Jason because of the battle thing.
Yep.
Oof. Yeah. And then Straight Up seemed to be on fire with those two. Men's divisions next day. We got John Cortolo at super lightweight, Tyson Ray at lightweight. Tyson wins that grand. Mm-hmm. Dwayne Morin at welter and Bailey at welterweight. Bailey winning that grand. Mm-hmm. Setting up a fight between Tyson and Bailey, which is always good. Kevin wins light middleweight. Ryan wins middleweight, and Kevin wins that grand. Mm-hmm. Brian wins light heavy, and Jonathan. What's Jonathan's last name, Mr. Travis?
I don't know how to pronounce it. Colette. Hold on, let me look. I'll look for it. Oh no.
Okay. He wins heavyweight, and then wins wins heavyweight grand, setting up a fight between him and Kevin.
Jonathan Doucet.
Doucet.
Doucet. It's Canadian, so that means it's probably French. So I have no idea. Jonathan Doucet.
I would say Doucet. I would not say with the T. I think the T is silent.
Right.
Yeah. Then that left Kevin winning the heavyweight grands and Bailey winning the light weight grands, which we talked about earlier at the start of the show, leaving Kevin and Bailey down to the virtual fight towards last man standing, and Bailey with the win.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Amber Rutherford. I saw her side form. Very nice. Very nice. What? That's,
no, I was about to do the rundown of the women divisions. Elise Gorel won super lightweight.
Right.
Or Alexi Jimenez won lightweight. Maeve McColgan won light middle. And Katarina won middleweight. And then that set up Katarina and Maeve. Katarina won. Lexi versus Elise. Elise won, and then Elise beat Katarina for the overall.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So, Chris, you watched some of this. What were some of your takeaways from this weekend's Quebec Open?
You and I actually discussed this as always. In Canada, the judging is just different. They look for different things. You get seen different things. You don't have the typical NASCAR referees, so a lot of them at least. So
like you see right there,
yeah,
you see them in their traditional uniforms.
Oh, they're out there
judging.
Yes, sir. That's one thing you'll always see in Canada. Which I mean, again, I kind of like it, man. I kind of like the look. But either way, it's a little different. So you're gonna hear a lot of people complaining about things, but it's not bad. It's just different. It happened to me the first time I ever went to Quebec. I was like, I thought things that we would normally get, you don't get, and you just look at it as they look for different techniques and they have a different style.
Right. So, like, this is the funny thing about it. When you go into someone else's backyard, right? They're used to watching certain people win, right? So they are naturally looking for that person to continue winning, right? So their eyes they're naturally seeing. They use that somebody.
They look to who they're used to seeing.
They know that. So they're not watching. I'm not saying they're not watching the other person. You have to make your shots even clearer, right? And the same way when they come down to America, if people don't know who they are and they're fighting somebody from America, and the people are used to seeing our points. They're going to be looking for our points more so. When you go into somebody else's backyard, you have to make everything
like
very, very
right. Like when the Europeans first started coming over here, they had to be seen. They had to adjust their style a little bit. They had to chop that up, like the Hungarians when Zoltan and them all came over. Except for the Winsper, but
that's the thing. He made his points very clear.
Well, he
scored. It was clear. It was no. And then once you get their attention, that's it. Like they're looking for you to continue that, to see if you're going to continue doing it, because you have their attention and they're looking. They're like, okay, that's the one thing when you go into somebody else's backyard, you have to establish in your first fight, I am him or I am her. I am that person. I am that dude. I am that woman. You pay attention to my points because I'm the best person here. You have to make it clear as day. And I think some people are used to getting the benefit of the doubt. And when you don't get the benefit of the doubt, some people get frustrated, or some people look a little, they like discouraged or whatever. And they may come out saying that, hey, the judges cheated me. No, you didn't make you didn't make it clear enough for them. You have to establish.
You didn't make it easy for them. You didn't make it easy for them.
Yes, that is the whole goal. Make it easy. Make it so obvious they can't deny it. Yep. Right.
That way you can't complain about one call that doesn't go your way because you've already established the 7 calls before it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Los, you have an interesting look on your face, sir. So I'm
Yeah, you always do. Yeah. So now people can see you, Los, about your facial expressions. So yes. Because but see, here's the thing. You are very close to Canada. So therefore, you've probably fought in Canada more than me and Chris
put together.
I fought a different part of Canada. I fought more. I did though.
You did the
Niagara Falls,
Toronto,
Hamilton, Toronto. That area is different than Quebec. Quebec is like a whole nother country.
It really is.
Well, it is.
Right. It's a whole nother. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a whole nother space. Like it's literally, to me, it's more like a European fighting event as opposed to like a Toronto, Niagara Falls in that area. Like, I mean, that's more close to what we're used to. And I always felt like, again, like how you guys said, like when you go into that arena, you could just look at the environment. The environment is different.
Yep.
Right. So as you said, when you go in that and you have
because if you look at it, some of them they're doing the judges call. They're still doing that. I was watching it like they weren't doing it straight point. They was like, stop, judges, call. And I was like, wait, all right, it's going though. But yeah, it is a different culture, man.
So yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you guys are saying. I always felt that way, especially I think I competed at Quebec probably. At the Quebec Open, I think I only went once. Once or twice. But then, I saw that too. And then when we went, I think we went to Bar City or something like that for Nasty's event that one time. That's SES.
We went where? I know we were in Montreal at one point. I think that was in Montreal, right?
Was it Montreal?
I think so.
I thought it was a city called Bar or something like that. Bar City or something like that. I think it was a little different than Montreal, but it was up that way though.
Yeah, I think I probably just said it was Montreal, but I don't know. Yeah,
fair.
But yeah, once you get outside of the borders, cities like Toronto and Hamilton and London and Windsor, then you are feeling that it's a different country. Like you really do feel like it's a completely different country once you get a little bit more north and you get into Quebec and everybody's speaking French. Like you see it right here. The first letter here, first word here is in French. It's not English. So it's letting you know right then that this is a different country.
Well, you can't see that when you're actually fighting though. Like when you're actually
but when you walk in there,
you don't. Yeah.
But when you register for the division, you see it. When you walk in there, you see it. So you know it. You have that feeling of it being a different country.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on the when you nowadays they have these big TVs, Los, and they actually have the division and stuff on them. So when you get to your ring, you actually do see this stuff. I'm just like,
yeah. Now, not like how it was for us. Like we
no.
Yeah.
Now we show up and they started talking to us in French. We were like,
yeah, it tripped me out when I first got up there and I saw a group of black people and they were all speaking French and it just kind of threw me off for a second. I was like, hey, all right, different. But the other thing I was thinking about here at Quebec was
what up, yo, Trav? Just really quick, 114, 113.
Who?
What were you thinking about, Travis? Go ahead.
Who?
What were you thinking about?
Who?
What were you saying?
Who?
No, what were you
has
thinking
114?
What were you thinking about? Finish your thought. My bad.
I'm old, man. I can't even remember what my thought was at this point now. Thank you, Los, for interrupting that.
You threw off my groove.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I was talking about now. But
Kristen,
they're winning? The 76ers are winning?
Why is that shocking you?
Actually, I'm gonna tell you something. I would much rather y'all win over Boston. As a Pistons fan, I'm groomed not to like the Boston Celtics. So therefore I can't, So if y'all win, I'm happy with that. I know New York people will be happy.
Cool.
But anyway. Yeah. Some of the things, all right, let me go up to my stuff to see what we were talking about. My notes on this.
Here's a little pad of questions he's going to throw out as at random.
Yeah. So one of the fights that I paid close attention to was Katarina and Katana.
That one.
Yeah, that just was on the screen. I made sure to pay attention to that particular fight because I wanted to see how that was going to go. Because Katana has been fighting a lot more this year than she has in years past.
Yes.
So I wanted to see her if this was going to when she was going to break through, and this time she actually did. She broke through and beat Katarina in open weight, NASCA open weight.
Yeah.
To get to Elise. And I watched it, and it was an overtime fight, 2-1, I believe, or 3-1, or because she scored a sidekick. It was 1-1 going into the she 1-1 going into it, and she scored a sidekick. And I know that was a great feeling to get that monkey off her back with that. Chris, you being close to her, I was watching it, and I was watching the strategy she was using, and part of me was thinking, it was going back to what Alex had said a couple of weeks ago, was that she should be jamming Kat a little bit more than she does. More that way, some sidekicks and pushing Kat back and not letting her. But a lot of times she's doing a lot of the movement. It's interesting because I know she's a lot smaller than Kat, so I wanted to get your take on that fight.
Yeah. I kind of talked to her a little bit. I think the goal was to do a little bit more of that, a little bit more of the first round from Ocean States, a little bit more of the stepping in and the pushing and then doing that. But I'm not sure. Maybe when she's out there, the distance is too far off, so she's not wanting to push, so she's not wanting to walk into anything. So yeah, finding that how and when to go. Kat looked like she went with a little bit more heel between on the pressure with that lower side kick rather than floating and lifting her leg and covering the space. So there were little changes on both fighters, but I would have preferred to see a little bit more of that aggressive style to force Kat out of her comfort zone.
This fight right here, Alexi and Elise.
Yeah.
I was interested in seeing how it was going to turn out. Elise won 6-0, but I thought there were a lot of missed calls for Alexi on that because I was watching it and I was just like, ooh. But it brings back something else I want to talk about later. But back to Kat and Katana. As I was watching it, I saw rookie mistakes from Kat that it was just kind of interesting to see. Right, I saw
she's still young.
She's still young. Yeah,
she won a couple of things right off she won a couple of things right out of the gate. So people forget that she's younger. And she's still learning and adapting and adjusting into this game, just like a lot of them are. A lot of these women are. Yeah, Alexi, Maeve, the Savannah young lady. They're not well seasoned, higher 22, 23, 24-year-old competitors. Now there's a good group of those, but they're on the young age still. So when you see them fight, you're going to see them do a lot of really good things that they did in juniors, a lot of quicker and different things. But you're also going to see a lot of these little rookie mistakes, and we're going to see who makes the adjustments as each tournament happens.
And that's why when I saw Elise fighting, and that's what Elise was doing, was basically picking them apart.
Yeah. I do.
It's on Uventex's page. It's on their Friday night, so it's like they have a long stream, and it's somewhere around the 4-hour mark. That's their fight. The NASCA open weight division happens somewhere around the 4-hour mark. If you scroll through it, but it's on
4-hour mark.
Yeah, it's like a 5-hour
they started
stream.
The whole shebang bangs.
Yeah, so they just stream that particular ring for about 4 hours. And one thing that was
a couple of them, right?
Yeah, well, they only did one ring a day. They did one for the black belt women on Friday and one for the black belt men on Saturday. So you got all of like whatever the NASCA, you got the NASCA open weight for women, and you got something else. I think teams. But on Saturday it was just all the men. You saw traditional forms and and then it led into some of the fighting divisions. But yeah, that was pretty much it. So but one thing that I will say this about Uventex, I'm gonna change this banner real quick. Because what you'll see is they have the scores of the people up here.
Yeah, they do that. That's integrated, I believe, in their software. So anytime they do that.
Yep. So that
not sure if they were doing that before or during VFT, but
I have no idea.
I know, but that's something that's really cool that they're
VFT's doing. Stream was his own, and then Uventex had the nighttime. Uventex had their nighttime finals one on their own also. And that stream was just beautiful, the thing of beauty, basically. But but it wasn't Uventex. Uventex put the overlay of it and they streamed it, but the production was done by in-house from people from Canada. I could tell because when you look at what Uventex did last at Ocean State versus what they did for this one, the production level was completely different. Like they had the greatest views that you could tell by the cameras that they were using. There were quality camera. It wasn't just like somebody's phone. It was a whole system that they had set up to do all of this, and then they streamed it on their platform where they can actually do the overlays and use the system to show you who's scoring what, and you can follow along and stuff like that. So they did a good job with that. But Quebec Open's nighttime finals is just ridiculous. Like they have always been dope. With
Hands
the
down.
Nighttime final. Yeah, they have the best one.
Best night show.
Yeah, best night show. That includes what's going down in Florida and everything else. If you think that your own TV is great, no. What they do at Quebec Open is just they invest in that. They invest in their nighttime finals and have to do a great show. So, yeah. But I think that was all I had from Quebec Open. All right. You guys got anything else from Quebec Open that y'all want to talk about?
I ain't got nothing.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations.
But there is something I want to talk to you both about.
Oh boy.
The big clap all loud in my ear and everything. Yes, it's always been on another level since I was going way back in the day when Clermont used to do all that, man.
Shay, no, you only have to pay for the nighttime finals one. They did you've had to pay $15 to do
pay-per-view for that one.
Pay-per-view for the nighttime finals, but for their Friday and Saturday stream, it's just on YouTube. What was I gonna say? Los, how was Vegas? You were out there for the fight. You were out there. Did y'all find a way into the fight? Did y'all?
No. See, what happened was when we were going out there, we looked at the price for the tickets, and it was like $800 for like a higher level seat.
Nosebleed.
Yeah, and we was like, at first when we discussed it, we thought it was $800, like $400 a piece. I was like, okay, we could do that. We could squeeze that. But it was like $800 for one. We was like, nah. And then so it just didn't,
So I don't know if that was true, but I saw Andre out there with y'all, right?
Yeah.
Steve's cousin.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did he go?
He went to the fight.
Okay, because I saw him. He was in there, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, they actually went to the fight.
No, he went to the fight. We ain't going to the fight. he got somebody had an extra ticket and had him go with them.
Okay,
they didn't have two extra tickets, so we didn't go.
Understandable. But how was your time because we didn't, since you weren't here last week, how was your time last week in Vegas? How was that your first time going out there to Vegas for a fight weekend?
Honestly, you want the real reason why I went out there?
No, I'm saying was that your first time ever being out there for the fight weekend?
Like during a fight
at
weekend.
The same. Now you may not have gone out there for it, but being in that environment, being there for it.
Yes.
How did you like it?
How to like being like around like just like the whole like fight energy and everybody like in Vegas with the fight energy. I ain't really paying attention to it.
He said that was not the focus of the trip.
That's not why I was there.
Why were you there?
Because I had a ticket that I was supposed to use back in September, and when I tore my Achilles, I couldn't use my ticket, so I had to use it before I lost it.
Right.
And that was just the weekend that we picked, and it happened to be that weekend that he can go and I can go. So we went out there. But we didn't really get into a lot of fight stuff, bro. Like we just kind of hung out. We talked some business stuff and everything. And then that was it. Nothing too crazy. Like we didn't go searching for fight stuff or anything like that. We were supposed to go to like a pool party to watch the fight. But we were still on East Coast time. So for whatever reason, we thought it was starting at like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yes. No.
So yeah, we didn't.
Fight is done mad early over there.
Yeah, we were totally unfocused on the fight. So
Yeah,
No, but it would have been cool. It would have been cool if we kind of actually like invest ourselves in that. But because we knew it wasn't going to the fight itself, so we didn't do anything. Like we tried to look at going to the weigh-ins, but again, by the time we looked at that, like that had a fee to it, so we just didn't really do much.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to hear that real quick.
Yeah, it was totally not exciting at all. Like if I had a story to tell you, bro, I would love to share with everybody, but it wasn't like that.
Jeff, yes, sir.
I was about to bring that up.
Yes, sir. We'll be watching. It's going to be a pretty good card.
I was about to say, because I haven't heard much from them, and the last couple one fights are going to be this weekend. Where are they in like Denver or something?
Denver.
Like that?
Yeah,
Denver.
In Denver. Are either one of you guys going to decide to? Well, Los, you just got back, so I can't imagine you're going. Chris.
Los has got to sit down for a little bit, bro.
Chris will be in Nashville.
That's this weekend.
That is the same weekend.
Okay.
4th, 5th, 6th, 7th.
All right. So yeah,
I can tell you where I would rather have been this weekend.
Where?
Huh?
Where?
Who?
Isn't
there a trip going on this weekend?
Is there a trip going on this? Oh yeah.
That's where I'd rather have been. I gotta sit down.
Yeah.
No idea, but y'all, there's some All Stars things I think, but I have no idea what y'all talking about.
Yes, we don't know anything about it either.
All right, then I have no idea what you're talking about. All right. Yeah. Jeff says Demetrius Mighty Mouse could be his last fight.
He did say it could be his last fight.
Why could it be his last fight, and why would it not be his last fight?
He was just saying that not a lot left for him to do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's
I did meet him one time. I went out to Vegas during a fight week. He was out there. He's not that tall.
I was just saying, you gonna step on him.
I mean, he's
not very tall.
I'm usually not that kind of guy either. I'm like, nah, really, but I was like a fan of his, like, you know what I mean, when he was fighting UFC. So I was like, yo, do you mind if I take a picture? I don't want to be kind of like that odd dude. He probably happens to him all the time, but it's cool. Yeah.
Man, this card is pretty stacked. You got
who's on it?
Stamp Fairtex, who she's a monster. If you don't know who this chick is, bro, you got to go check her out. Sage is back. He's fighting in his first fight back. Mikey Musumeci is doing. He's defending his grappling championship. Last fight, he destroyed this dude's knee like something I have never seen a submission. Like, do not tap to that. It was gross. Like the way his knee was popping and turning and cracking, and he wouldn't tap out. Nah, that dude
sounds
nuts.
Fun.
Surgeries.
You know, I realize, Chris, that you're really great at this sport.
What do you mean?
Like just like fighting and stuff. Like you have, like you always have the.
Los, listen, Los, I'm gonna get you in the butt, bro.
Wait, Jeff, have you been to one of these? Have you been to a one? Because you're very excited. I'm just curious if you've been to a one, even though.
No, this is their first event in the United States.
But he said he's excited for people to experience the one. It's a full martial arts experience. So I'm just.
They do everything. They do Muay Thai in big gloves. They do Muay Thai in little 4-ounce gloves. They do grappling. They do like Sambo. They bring Sambo versus Jiu-Jitsu. The guy who I was talking about getting his knee all jacked up. Like one is like a whole show because it's based out of Europe. I mean, not Europe, Asia. My bad. And most of everything they were doing, they do big things over there. Like they're huge. As far as like in size wise and money wise, like in the world, I believe they're bigger than the UFC. I just don't think they're bigger than the UFC in America. Like one is something freaking fire.
I was about to say something, but so it's like Waco basically.
But coming soon. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I mean.
I haven't seen it. If I had known about it prior, I probably would have went out there just to experience it and see what it was like and see what was going on there. Yeah. Hit up Matt Bowles and say, "Yo, I'm gonna crash on your bed, or I'm gonna crash on your couch or whatever," right? And hang out and go over to the fights. But I'm just not hearing about it. I think like yesterday, I just found out about it.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I just found out about it.
I knew about it a while ago.
You know everything, Chris.
I don't know anything, but I knew about something.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Chris, you know everything, Chris.
Right. As soon as we get off here, you're going to tell us like 8 things that you didn't want to talk about here.
Listen, I don't even know how you know so much stuff, but you know a little bit of anything that's happening in the world of martial arts fighting and whatever type of fighting it is. Like,
I dabble my pinky toe in a little bit.
Nah, you best to keep your ear to the ground.
I do.
I need to start doing a little better job of that.
But the biggest thing is I don't put everything out there, so like that's why I get a little bit, keep getting a little bit of things.
Yeah, that's respect. Yeah, that's respect.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. But you're supposed to say, "Hey, I think, in my opinion, I think this is going to happen."
One of my anonymous, anonymous people told me this information, but I can't share who it is.
Yeah, sources tell.
I got to keep my sources tight.
Yeah. Then it's like, okay, cool.
Nah, fam, because some of these things be like, oh, somebody, so-and-so told me. Nah, I can't hear.
Well, it depends on what it is. You got to use discretion about what it is. You can still come in here and say, hey, there's a couple of things that
we just let slip out and slide out. Yeah, not everybody picks it up, you know. Not everybody picks up. Not everybody picks up.
I pick up all the slide out stuff.
He said, I pick up everything you put
Chris,
down.
Wait a minute. I heard what you said. Bring it back.
Those coming through with a fine skimmer in the pool, bro, getting everything.
Pause. All right.
Again, married man don't give a damn nada. He said number 5.
I'm about to slide in and slide out. It's like, wait, what? Oof, y'all are all right.
Man that goes to puffy parties.
I have never been to a puffy party. Thank you. What's the use of having all this info if you don't share it? Share it with the people, Chris. Share it with the people. All right. I think that was it. We can get into the other stuff later.
Later, like another time, or you got it right now? We can do it right now.
You got a bunch.
I mean, you want to tell people how you? Okay, we can do it. How do you avoid defensive sidekicks? As a person who, if you're competing, how do you get your blitz off? How do you avoid a person who you know wants to hit you with a defensive sidekick? Because I was watching something. I'm going to put out a video in probably the next couple of days of how not to blitz versus show a good way of blitzing and a bad way of blitzing, because there are people who are blitzing and not moving their feet or jumping straight up and not going forward.
That goes back into they're doing it out of a sidekick stance, out of a kicking stance, and their knee can't turn, so they can't drive forward and push off and explode to the target, so they have to go up and around. Bro, this is the whole thing. But
it's a lot, because the winning point that Katana scored on Kat, if Kat actually committed, she didn't move her feet. She just leaned in and tried to use her length. And
unfortunately, that's how she blitzes a lot of the times.
She threw 2 punches before Katana even got her sidekick up and out. And I was like, that's just, like I said, that was just like a rookie mistake. But I watched other people. I watched somebody jump up, and that person, Liam, just looked at him and just sidekicked him in the air. I'm like, what? And then then I was watching Tyreek and Bailey's blitz and how they were covering ground versus how other people were blitzing. And so I was curious as to you guys, how do you guys beat a defensive sidekick? Because I was talking to Alex Macias at the AKAs, he had lost on a defensive sidekick. And he said because he had went forward and blah, blah. And I told him, I was like, well, the smart way is to slide pass. Do the slide pass. You don't go straight at it. Go to the side pass. But I'm curious as for you guys, how do you guys tell people or teach people how to avoid the defensive sidekick? Are you...
I am if I'm blitzing, I'm trucking.
I already knew this answer. I already knew this answer. I'm running you over. Like,
I'm trucking
if you touch me first, you're still gonna end up on the floor in the chair. So
honestly, for me, it'd be more I'm baiting you to see your response to my bait, right? And I'm gonna bait and see how you're positioning your body to throw the sidekick, and that's gonna help me decide on how I'm going to blitz if I'm coming in off my blitz, if that makes sense. for myself personally. But for the most part, if I know that I can cover the distance before you can pull that leg off, then I'm gonna get to you that way. You know.
Right. Because like I was gonna say, I'm the same way. I was a bigger little guy, and I had to fight Jack.
That's what I'm about to say. Jack is like is
You know?
there anybody who has a better defensive sidekick than Jack?
No, not in my opinion. I think Jack's got the best D side, especially I've ever fought.
Right. And
so like for Jack's, because it was so short and it was a back kick and it was a drop down. Honestly, that style of I'd have to push through, let it kick my arms, and then follow through and go off of that. Again, you have longer legged fighters who do a big step. You have fighters who have shorter legs who don't step. Open stance, closed stance. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, even in the sidekick, I know it's a straight line technique, but you got to go. Yes, Mikey P, body back. Definitely don't lead with the back fist if you don't want to get hit with a sidekick. I mean, that's true. That's kind of number one. Like you said, you got to move your feet. You got to lean your body. You got to try not to telegraph it too much. I mean, what's the distance that we're throwing? I mean, there's a.
I love when someone blitz me from too far away.
Whoa!
Well, actually, here's my question: how many times
they just donated? I like it. That we call it donations. They just donate 2 points to you at that point.
Los, how often did you actually blitz? If you really think about it as a percentage wise,
as coming up, I probably didn't blitz as much because I was more of a kicker. As I got older and more mature in my fighting, I understood it better. Does that make sense? I don't think I understood it as well because I always felt like when I would kick somebody, my legs were so long that I would have them so far away that for me to try to follow up with my punching, I had too much space. I had too much space, right? And then, like I said, so for me to blitz them, also sometimes I would have to have my feet a little wider, so I had a little more base to push off of, so I wasn't able to kick as well from that position. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of, for me, being a taller, longer range fighter, that was a little bit harder for me to do right off the rip as I was coming up. As I got older, I didn't kick as much, right? So my stance and my body kind of settled a little bit, so I was able to blitz a little bit better from there, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
100% makes sense.
Well, see, I had the unfortunate thing of growing very fast, and so I was a short fighter for the majority of my my junior career, and then all of a sudden I had an explosion, and honestly, I did not know how to use my height. I honestly did not know, like, the distance part was like so foreign to me that I struggled with distance throughout my career, not understanding until I got older and literally came back and fought, and it was like, you know what, I'm not as fast as I used to be. Let me just stay away from people. And then I realized, damn, I should have been fighting this way the entire time because people,
if I knew how to back then, like if I'd have had it, like, you know how BP and how I had Mikey P, like all these guys, like, and you know Johnny, when they was like, if I understood like how they were doing it, I think I'd have been able to put it together a little better for myself. Like, you get what I'm saying? But I just didn't understand. I couldn't grasp that understanding of it. Like, you get what I'm saying? And I don't know,
especially the switch, like you were talking about, the switch from kicking to blitzing and changing your base. That is if you can find that the right comfortable to do both, that is the key. But you know, if you are always 90% of the time you were a kicker, your legs are going to be closer. And that's when I watch Kat, that's what she is. Her legs, she's standing straight up and that leg is there. So when she tries to blitz, she doesn't have a good push.
It's a lean and then a fall into. It's more of a lean and fall into.
And even I feel like, even like, because I ideally when I still kind of teach this way now. When I try to have a base, I try to have my feet just outside my shoulders. So I'm not like my feet under my shoulders, right?
Right.
But I have my feet just outside my shoulders. So I'm not like super deep in a stance, right? But I'm also not too short. But even me having my base just outside my shoulders, it's still a long distance for me to try to cover if I'm kicking off of it first. Like, you get what I'm saying? If I'm kicking and pushing you back off first. So like a lot of times I remember coach like, Lowe's, follow up with your hands. It's like, coach, but like when I'm kicking, I put my foot down, there's still so much space between me and that.
Because you were a tall kicker.
You were a tall.
You were a tall kicker. So when you kicked, you had your body up. You kept your body straight up. So because you kept your body, some people like Trevor, he kicks and his leg, he's
already behind his leg.
Yeah, he's already in it. You were straight up, And so now you had to come down, and it's like that. So it kind of it throws everything off, and it's kind of like hard to try and get into that part. But yeah. So it's a whole nother thing, and it's kind of interesting to see it. And I saw a little bit with Katana, like her base when she wanted to kick and trying to switch in between it, because now she's moving a lot more, so her base isn't ready for her kick. And then when she does come up, it's kind of she has to work it in. And I was thinking about this. How come kickers don't approach kicking the way punchers approach it, right? Punchers work their way in. They use footwork to get in position to actually throw their punches. They're not starting back here throwing jabs or punches from way away and trying to close the gap and then follow up or throwing, because they're going to get hit, and they understand that. But kickers, we start back from 7 miles away to start throwing kicks and trying to figure out the way, and it's giving that person time, and your legs getting tired for somebody to do a counter on. Like kickers, we don't. They don't not sometimes most of them are not smart.
A lot of kickers just waste a lot of kicks. But this is Los' pet peeve. People who just kick to kick or kick to cover ground without kicking with intent or actually kicking to use their leg. Like
anytime I got blitzed by somebody kicking, they always caught me in that space. Like there was a gap of my leg coming up, and they would be in before I wasn't measuring my distance, I guess. But I never was one to like. I wasn't a big change up kicker. Like you mean change up. I was more of a spot. Like you get what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna shoot it from here to you. Was my forte per se.
Sharpshooters.
Yeah.
Wait. What did he say? Sniper.
Yeah.
Jerry Fonson had just sniper fighting. Yeah.
Sniper.
All that. Goodness. All right, good ending topic that we had there. I'm glad I brought it up.
Good job.
All right, thanks everybody for the comments. Thanks for joining. We will see you guys next.
Thank you, Mikey P, bro. That's love Mike right there.
P. Yes, sir. Everybody stay safe.
Yes, I did. I wound up, I let it go, and then I followed it. That's I told you. I was big.
Listen, so coming up when I before I actually started like competing more on the national level, like I used to get my little sport karate magazine. Listen, Mike Pombero was like my hero, right? Like it was like I think I went to Super Grands in DC, and that was like my first Super Grands. It was like he was there, and I was just like, oh snap! Like I'm about to fight Mike P. Like you know what I mean? Like it was so like I'll never forget that time as I was kind of coming up and just like him being like that guy. Like I mean, he was like that guy.
He was the guy. Yeah,
for sure. Like you know what I mean? And it was really cool. So much respect to Mike P. all the time, all times. Always. Again, one of my heroes coming up. I'm out. That's it. That's all I had to say. All right. That's all I'm dropping here, man. I just want to give him the love.
Absolutely.
Like it's real, man. It's like when I was coming up, bro, like literally, man, I used to get that little sport karate magazine, and then I like see you and all other different stuff, black belt magazine, like light heavyweight, like Pombero. Like, man. So
you know what's funny? I never had that. I always saw people in those magazines and they went to the list.
They went to your list?
They went to the list of people I wanted to fight. I just wanted to beat them. It didn't matter. I just wanted to beat them. Like they get all this love.
I was a fan of maybe because we was light skinned.
Maybe I was just a hater.
You could have been just a hater. You were just a hater too.
No.
Maybe that's
I just want to beat this person up. I just want to hate. I'm hating right now. I'm a hater. So yeah. All right, people. We will see y'all next week. We are out of here, and we'll be talking about probably a lot of different stuff. I'm coming up with. I got
all kinds of topics.
I got.
You got a Scrolodex right now.
A Scrolodex? Nah, I just got a list. All right, people. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Goodbye. Be safe.